involves making. So calculated risk involves making decisions that involve a degree of uncertainty, but where potential outcomes have been carefully assessed and weighed. And why is this important? This is important because it encourages innovation and fosters a culture of continuous improvement. So it promotes the development of new ideas and solutions. So if you are not ready to take risks, then you are likely to stay stagnant. You are not likely to use your brains. You are not likely to grow. It also facilitates personal and professional growth by pursuing by pushing individuals out of their comfort zones. So if you are comfortable wherever you are not likely to learn anything new, because you are like, oh, yeah, me, I'm settled, I'm relaxed, and that kind of thing. You've got to push yourself. And that's a bit of a risk to be taken. It also enables organizations and individuals to stay competitive by exploring new opportunities and possibilities so that you can stay ahead of the game. Otherwise, things change so quickly, and because you are not in that mood of looking at developments, people are going to go ahead before you. One of the colleagues here was saying the other day about Nokia, how they were the leaders in the market of mobile phones, but then when things changed, they were not anywhere because maybe they were not looking at such things. So who should be taking calculated risks? In all honesty, leaders. And here we are all leaders in one way or the other. Leadership involves making strategic decisions, and that often entails calculated risks. So wherever you are, maybe in your family or in your team, being a leader, you've got to make decisions, you've got to think. And most of whatever you introduce to the team, especially if something new, some sort of change, people are not going to take it straight away, which is a bit of a risk. So you've got to be ready to convince them. You must have solutions to their questions. You must have thought about it, not just dump it on them and say, you must do it. That way, the team is not going to get on with you. Also, anyone looking to achieve personal or professional growth and overcome challenges, yeah, you've got to take risks. You've got to read, you've got to study, you've got to call people, you've got to ask questions. And all that involves an element of some risk. So when should we take these sort of risks? When there's a strategic opportunity that aligns with long-term goals. Yeah, when there's an opportunity that aligns with the long-term goals. Say you are looking to become a director at some point, you've got to start planning now. You are looking to employ yourself, to have a company, that's a long-term thing. And you've got to think about it, which involves risks. So you've got to think about it and start working on it. Also, after conducting thorough research and analysis to minimize uncertainty, yeah, if you don't do that, again, you are likely to be in some sort of trouble. Also, when maintaining the current approach hinders progress and improvement, yeah, if you are doing some sort of assignment and you don't see any, you are not learning, you are not improving, the speed is not improving, it's not changing, yeah, you've got to think about it and take risk, whether you do a study or you pay for it, and that, which is going to be costly. Sometimes you're not very sure how it's going to pan out. But then after looking at it, you are going to think, okay, if I do this, it will turn out like that. It might not turn out like that, but most cases, after you've thought about it, it's likely to to improve whatever you are doing. So what are some of the encouragements for risks, for taking risks? Yeah. People should be acknowledged and rewarded, all teams, for successful risk taking. Say if you're in a team and you devise a new way of doing things and that is recognized, it should be rewarded in some way, maybe a pay or a holiday or that sort of thing. Also, open and supportive communication environment where ideas and concerns can be freely expressed. So that should be encouraged. Otherwise, people are not going to take risks. Then training on risk assessment and decision making to enhance individuals' ability to take calculated risks. So when people are empowered, then they can go ahead and do certain things. But if they are not in our teams, say interns or our colleagues, if they are in an environment of bother, of fear, I say, if I do this, somebody's going to be upset. If I do that, if I ask him, he won't answer me, that sort of thing. So that sort of relationship is also very, very important. Then we should ensure there is safety net or contingency plan in place to mitigate potential negative outcomes. In case it doesn't turn out the way, don't go wholesale. Don't jump in with both feet sometimes. You've got to be careful, otherwise your feet is going to be burnt. So there must be some sort of safety net when you are taking on certain risks. So what are some of the measures of success when you take on risks? Measure success based on whether the calculated risks contributes to the achievement of the established objectives. If you've set objectives and they are achieved, then that's a bit of success, which needs to be celebrated. Yeah. Also, consider the lessons learned and adaptability gained through the risk-taking process. Yeah, because you've learned something and you need to pass it on to others. Maybe you need to teach it to others. Maybe you've gone it by yourself and then something works out. It was a risk you took, but you've learned something, then you need to teach, you need to pass it on to others. So that's why I'm saying encouraging calculated risk-taking is a strategic approach that when implemented effectively can lead to growth, innovation, and sustained success for individuals and organizations alike. It is impossible to achieve anything meaningful in life without some risk, without some degree of risk-taking. But you always have to assess threats and the right level of risk in pursuit of the desired outcomes. I was reading something online yesterday, and somebody gave these steps. It relates to risk-taking. So define the objectives first. Yeah, you know, the objectives must be smart. Yeah, specific and all that, time-bound. Yeah, define the objectives before you go into this venture you are going into. Then assess the situation. Assess the situation. You don't want to start a business in a war zone. I mean, if there's a war going on and you're starting a business, I mean, then that sort of risk is you've not thought about it properly. Yeah. Then plan your actions. Have you got the resources? Have you got the money? Have you got the people? Have you got the space? Is there a market? Yeah, that sort of thing. Then the other one is a monitor and review the situation. As you go along, there are lessons learned. Keep on monitoring, keep on reviewing, keep on changing in case you need to change. It's not one way. You've got to, because it's something new, there's a bit of risk. So if you can change a few things to move on nicely, do it. Yeah. Then the other one is to seek feedback and advice. Speak to your fellow professionals. Speak to your team. Ask them what they think about what you are doing and how you are getting on, and get some advice and maybe implement it if it will work for you. And lastly, they say, celebrate the reward. After succeeding, celebrate it. Yeah. You've taken this risk, it's rewarded you. Award yourself a car, go for holiday, and that sort of thing. Have a party, enjoy yourself. Thank you very much for listening. Please contribute to the topic. Thank you. Anyone?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Noah.
So, this is quite an interesting topic. Thank you very much, Robert. So, you know, for us to encourage risk-taking in this kind of environment, I do believe we need to foster innovation, and we also need to do take on, or let me say, we need to make informed decision making. You know, and all of these things, we can have them, or let me say, we can be able to achieve them if we can be able to communicate clearly to each other, because communication is key within such this environment that you are into. Maybe you will know how you need to communicate with others, more especially if you want to take risk. You know how to do your thing, because it's very, very important. And your communications also need to be transparent, So, and another thing again is if you, let me say, as an employer, you want to make your employees to take calculated risk. I don't believe you need to encourage training and development within this environment. Training and development, I believe if each and every employee know that, what, by the end of so and so I'll be training, then sincerely they will try all possible means to take calculated risk, as long as you have been trained in doing what you need to do. And it's very important, just like how whenever we discuss here, you hear more like we say we measure about, guys, you need to go for your professionals exam, take this. Yeah, it tells you that within this environment, we are encouraging such, and training and development is very important. And also each and every week we are holding something our weekly webinar, which of course we try to explain what our accountancy formula says. And it's very, very important by you understanding how the accountancy formula operates, and then I believe you can be able to take calculated risk. Another thing again is about us here encouraging collaboration. If we collaborate, I do believe we can be able to take calculated risk again. It's very, very paramount. If we can foster, or can be able to foster collaboration within this environment that we are in. And the other thing again is about the employer ensuring that we also have access to some of these resources, the tools. Just like when guys wanted to have an access to QuickBooks Zero, they have been provided. So even though you have been studying the theories, but now you are having access to it. And then I do believe you can be able to take calculated risk, because it's all about you trying to put yourself practically, to try to do the work in your own time. And then another thing again about us taking calculated risks is about the leadership example that we are showing within this environment. If as a leader, if you are always trying to showcase yourself, tell yourself that I'm a leader, in certain stuff or certain thing that I'm doing. So there are certain loopholes that might occur or certain stuff that might be going wrong. But because of, if you just sit back and say, hey, you know what, I've seen, this is what I see here that is happening. Let me just relax. So it means you will be unable to take the risk, or you'll be unable to say certain things that, even though it might hurt others, but because of you will just feel like, you know what, this is what I see here, let me relax. You can't be able to, so you need to be bold enough and say, well, you know what, this and this are not going right, so they are going wrong. So for us to do it this way, even though you might say the words, they might hurt others, but you need to do it, then it's mean you will take in calculated risk for the organization to grow. That's very, very important. You know, another thing about taking calculated risk again is about the reward. The reward, it's very, very important, you know, because some staff might say, you know what, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, HR and everything, I'm the one doing it. But if they are not being compensated, trust me, they will relax. And it's very, very important again. They will sit back and say, you know what, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, and I'm not being compensated. So how can I take calculated risk again? So it's very, very important again. It's about us taking risk, and it's about about us taking calculated risk in a working environment. You know, the rewards should be there. You know, because if you reward staff, trust me, they will do more. Yeah, they will do more, as long as you know that, you know what, he or she knows that I'm doing this. This is what I'm doing, and this is what I think I need to have. But for us here, the environment, let me say, it's a level playing ground. It's here, we are seeing it. So you see, so I don't think this is an issue here. But you just need to, in any environment that is employing their staff to take calculated risk, I believe these are some of the things they need to put attention into first. You know, these are some of the things. Even you as a staff, you need to take cognizance of some of this stuff, or some of these things. What are you in terms of the feedback that you have whenever you are doing the job? Are you okay with what you're doing? Because one thing again, if they tell you now that, okay, you know what, you have done this, but these are some of the errors that you do, it will enable you to go and do more, and then you search. And whenever now they give you some of these tasks, you will do more and then go further. So it's about you also taking another risk in doing the job. So you see, it's very, very important. But one thing that should always be in mind, I think the employer needs to create the level playing ground in terms of training and development. Training and development is very, very important in terms of taking risk, because you can never take a risk about something you don't know. So if the training is there, you will go out there and say, okay, you know what, let me just put myself into this and do the work. So that's it. Thank you very much, Robert.
Thank you very much, Noah. Among the things you mentioned there is communication, very important, training and development, collaboration with the team, then provision of tools for people to take these risks. And we are all leaders. We should be looking to grow as well as being compensated. Thank you very much for your contribution, Noah. Anyone else, please?
Hi, everyone. Good morning.
How else?
Yes. About this topic, I think many times we feel that the resistance to be out of our comfort zone, because if we are for a long time doing something and we are well there and nothing's put us to change, sometimes it's difficult because we think if we are good, why we take the risk to put ourselves in trouble? Let me do this because I already feel confident to do it. Let me stay quiet here. But if we take that initiative to be out of our comfort zone and we be successful doing that things, the reward is bigger, 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 because the bigger the risk is associated to the bigger return. And sometimes it's important if we have someone to push us, to just put us on that challenge, because we are not that person who for own take the initiative, but if it just the life itself or someone else around us put us in this initiative, it could help. Sometimes we don't have that profile, but if we have some advisor around, it could help us. I can tell you about my experience when the COVID came, and the company told us we needed to stay at home, working the remotely work. I felt very unwell. I felt, oh, I really don't want to do remotely work. I will lose my job. I want to do different things because remotely work is not for me. I like to talk. I like this going out 30 minutes after work, have a drink, take this lunch together. No. And after that, when the lockdown finished, I received a massive invitation for remotely work, and I reject all of them. Just now with Moracle, I'm challenging myself with remotely work, and I'm just thinking, oh, Eli, how many jobs you reject because you think you are not able to do remotely work. I receive big and a lot of calling to do remotely work, and I reject. I said, no, remotely work is not for me. I don't want to do that. And many times I don't want to meet clients. And on Friday, I just thought, let me send a message to Arlette to say, I will not do this presentation on Monday. And I just thinking, and after that, I just decided to do that. And I felt very well, even I wasn't very good as I expect, but I feel happy because I said, you do it. Yeah, sometimes you don't take this initiative. Just life itself was so hard and make me to accept, to just going through this challenge. I appreciate now because now I can feel I'm different now. I can do remotely work. I can meet clients. I can speak in front of people. Although my English is not good, but I can feel, I don't judge myself a lot now. I can feel, even I'm doing mistake, I'm talking and I communicate, and I feel much happy now. So sometimes we don't have natural feeling to go this way, but life itself put us, because life is not about what we want to do, but sometimes what we need to do to grow. Yeah, this is my contribution about this topic.
Thank you very much, El, and thanks for telling us about your experience there. I think we all can learn from what El has just said. About your English, please. No, your English is perfectly fine. And I don't think anybody doesn't understand here. We all have different accents, so don't worry at all. I mean, you're doing really, really well, and you had a wonderful presentation yesterday. You've talked about comfort zones. Yeah, we need to get out of our comfort zones. We need to be rewarded, and we need to be pushed, or we need to be guided sometimes so that we can get that push within ourselves to take on these risks. Thank you very much, El. Anyone else, please?
Hi everyone, good morning.
Hello, Sepide.
So yeah, I just wanted to add something quick about the comfort zone that you were talking about. I think it's true that we have, for taking risks, we have to come out of our comfort zone. But I think in a workplace, there should be a safe environment that tries you to helps you to take risk. I think the environment that is created by the leader and the other employees should be in a way that you won't be judged or punished after you even maybe you fail. So you have it should be a trustworthy environment. You could trust people, and then and you know that people will support you, encourage you, So then you can come out of your comfort zone for taking risks. I think it's important in a company, in a workplace, that the environment that they're creating is supportive and trusting, so you don't afraid of taking risks because you're afraid that others will judge you or you know, maybe punish you in a way. So I think it's really important, and yeah, I think it's all about the environment when you are working in a place. It's all about the leaders and the other people, other employees to have that culture, have that environment of taking risks. And you know, when you see the leader is a risk taker and is not afraid and is going for the smart risk, so you will learn from him or her. Yeah, that was what I wanted to add. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sapide. Thank you very much. The zone where we are working is safe environment. That you've emphasized that. Very important. Yeah, we should be encouraged and we should be supported, our leaders and our fellow employees. If there is a supportive environment, good giving advice and not threatening, or if things go wrong, not to be talked to you nicely and comforted you or helped you and give you maybe a better way of doing things. Thank you very much for that. We still have a few minutes. Anyone else, please? Okay. If there's nobody else, thank you all very much for your contributions. Even those who are listening, I'm sure you had these points, but maybe somebody has just mentioned them. Thank you very much all and have a good morning.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you.
Thank you.